A separate video session on the topic divergence or flux density of a vector field is made by me, and it is available in the YouTube. In that video, I have concentrated on the divergence or flux density of a vector field in space. But in the Green's theorem, we need flux of a vector field in a plane. We need two new ideas for Green's theorem. The first idea is of the divergence of a vector field at a point, sometimes called the flux density of the vector field by physicists and engineers. So we specifically give the details of that concept. Suppose that the vector field f of xy is equal to m of xyi plus n of xyj is the velocity field of a fluid flow in the plane, in the xy plane, and that first order partial derivatives of m and n are continuous at each point of a region R in the plane. Let ordered where xy be a point in a region R, and let A be a small rectangle with one corner at ordered where xy that along with its interior lies entirely in R. That is, this rectangle lies inside the region R we are considering. The sides of the rectangle parallel to the coordinate axis have lengths delta x and delta y. Delta x is the length of the side parallel to the x-axis, and delta y is the length of the side parallel to the y-axis. The rate at which fluid leaves the rectangle across the bottom edge is approximately f of xy dot negative j delta x, which is equal to negative n of xy delta x. Why we take f dot negative j here? This is the scalar component of the velocity at ordered where xy in the direction of the outward normal times the length of the segment. See, outward normal to this side is negative j, because negative j is the unit vector parallel to y-axis and in the downward direction. So we take the scalar component of f of xy in the direction of negative j and multiply that scalar with the delta x, which is the length of the segment. That gives the rate at which the fluid leaves the rectangle across this bottom edge. If the velocity is in meters per second, for example, the exit rate will be in meters per second times meters or square meters per second. The rates at which the fluid crosses the other three sides in the direction of their outward normals can be estimated in a similar way. So we have on the top face we have f of x comma y plus delta y dot j delta x, which is equal to n of x comma y plus delta y delta x. Along the bottom face already we have evaluated. Right face f of x plus delta x comma y dot I delta y. This is because I is the outward normal to the side on the right of the rectangle, and we evaluate f at the point x plus delta x comma y on the side. Since f is equal to mi plus nj, we get this value. Similarly, on the left side, this is 1. Combining opposite pairs gives this one. Here we have used the fact that n of x comma y plus delta y minus n of xy is approximately equal to partial derivative of n with respect to y times delta y. See, partial derivative of n with respect to y is limit delta y approaches 0 of n of x y plus delta y minus nxy all divided by delta y. Similarly, m of x plus delta x y minus m of xy is approximately equal to partial derivative of m with respect to x times delta x. Adding these last two equations, we get flux across rectangle boundary is partial derivative of m with respect to x plus partial derivative of n with respect to y times delta x delta y. We now divide by delta x delta y, which is the area of the rectangle, to estimate the total flux per unit area or flux density for the rectangle. So we obtain flux across rectangle boundary by rectangle area is approximately equal to partial derivative of m with respect to x plus partial derivative of n with respect to y. Finally, if we let delta x and delta y approach 0 to define what we call the flux density of F at the point ordered where xy. In mathematics, we call the flux density the divergence of F. The symbol for it is div-F, pronounced divergence of F or div-F. Definition is given here. Consider the point ordered where x0, y0 here. If a gas is expanding at the point ordered where x0, y0, the lines of flow would diverge there as shown in the figure. Hence, the name divergence comes. If div f x0, y0 is greater than 0, then the point x0, y0 is said to be a source for the vector field F. So the gas would be flowing out of a small rectangle about ordered where x0, y0 if divergence f of x0, y0 is greater than 0. If gas is compressing instead of expanding as shown in this figure at the point ordered where x0, y0, then we say that ordered where x0, y0 is a sink for the vector field. That is, there is a net inward flow of fluid near the point ordered where x0, y0. Here divergence is less than 0. As an example, we consider the divergence of the vector field f of xy is equal to x square minus 2yi plus xy minus y square j. Here div f is by formula partial derivative of m with respect to x plus partial derivative of n with respect to y. Partial derivative of m with respect to x is partial derivative of x square minus 2y with respect to x. Treating y as a constant, the partial derivative will be 2x. Partial derivative of n with respect to y is partial derivative of xy minus y square with respect to y, which is x minus 2y. So we get 3x minus 2y as the div f. We note that ordered where 2, 0 is a source for the vector field f because at ordered where 2, 0 div f is 6, which is greater than 0. At the same time, at the point ordered where 0, 1 div f is negative 2. So the point ordered where 0, 1 is a sink for the vector field. Spin around an axis, the k component of curl. The second idea we need for Green's theorem has to do with measuring how a paddle wheel spins at a point in a fluid flowing in a plane region. This idea gives some sense of how the fluid is circulating around axis located at different points and perpendicular to the region. Physicists sometimes refer to this as the circulation density of a vector field F at a point. To obtain it, we consider the vector field f of xy is equal to m of xyi plus n of xyj and the rectangle A in the xy plane. The counterclockwise circulation of F around the boundary of A is the sum of flow rates along the sides. For the bottom edge, the flow rate is approximately f of xy dot I times delta x. See, this is the component of F in the direction of the unit vector I because I is the unit vector in the direction of counterclockwise direction of the lower side, and we consider the component of the force field F along this vector, and we multiply this component with the length of the side, which is delta x. So we get f of xy dot I times delta x, which is equal to m of xy delta x, because f of xy is m of xy I plus n of xy j. See here, f of xy dot I times delta x is the scalar component of the velocity f of xy in the direction of the tangent vector I times the length of the segment. The rates of flow along the other sides in the counterclockwise direction are expressed in a similar way. In all, we have the top side gives f of x comma y plus delta y dot negative y times delta x, because here we evaluate f at the point x comma y plus delta y, a point on the upper side, times dot negative y. Negative y is the unit vector in the counterclockwise direction on the upper line segment, which is equal to negative m of x comma y plus delta y delta x. Bottom face gives f of xy dot I times delta x is equal to m of xy delta x. Right side gives f of x plus delta x comma y dot j times delta y, which is equal to n of x plus delta x comma y delta y. Left side gives f of xy dot negative j times delta y, which is equal to negative n of xy delta y. Adding opposite pairs, we get top and bottom sides give negative of m of x comma y plus delta y minus m of xy times delta x, which is approximately equal to negative of partial derivative of m with respect to y times delta y delta x. And right and left side gives the contribution n of x plus delta x comma y minus n of xy times delta y, which is approximately equal to partial derivative of n with respect to x times delta x delta y. Adding these last two equations and dividing by the area delta x times delta y gives an estimate of the circulation density for the rectangle. That is, circulation around the rectangle by rectangle area is approximately equal to partial derivative of n with respect to x minus partial derivative of m with respect to y. We let delta x and delta y approach 0 to define what we call the circulation density of f at the point ordered where xy. The positive orientation of the circulation density for the plane is the counterclockwise rotation around the vertical axis, looking downward on the xy plane from the tip of the vertical unit vector k. The circulation value is actually the k component of a more general circulation vector. The circulation value is actually the k component of a more general circulation vector, which is called the curl of the vector field f. For Green's theorem, we need only the k component that we have just discussed. The k component of curl or circulation density of a vector field f is equal to mi plus nj at the point ordered where xy in the plane is the scalar curl f dot k is equal to partial derivative of n with respect to x minus partial derivative of m with respect to y. See, here we must take note that curl is a vector when f is a vector valued function of three variables x, y and z. Here we have defined only the k component of curl. Curl is a vector, but its k component is a scalar. If water is moving about a region in the xy plane in a thin layer, then the k component of the circulation or k component of curl at a point ordered where x naught y naught gives a way to measure how fast and in what direction a small paddle wheel will spin if it is put into the water at ordered where x naught y naught with its axis perpendicular to the plane and hence parallel to unit vector k. As an example, we find the k component of curl of the vector field f of xy is equal to x square minus 2y I plus xy minus y square j at the point ordered pair 1 2. By definition, curl f dot k, which is the k component of curl or k component of circulation, is given by partial derivative of n with respect to x minus partial derivative of m with respect to y. Here m is x square minus 2y and n is xy minus y square. So this becomes partial derivative of xy minus y square with respect to x minus partial derivative of x square minus 2y with respect to y. Now partial derivative with respect to x is y from here, okay, and also partial derivative with respect to y is negative 2 from here, so negative of negative 2 gives plus 2. So curl f dot k is y plus 2. At the point ordered pair 1 2, curl f dot k evaluated at ordered pair 1 2 is y plus 2 evaluated at the point ordered pair 1 2. So here y is equal to 2, so this is equal to 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This is the k component of the curl of the vector field f at the point ordered pair 1 2.